All right, everyone, I hope you're ready for some music. My name is Jacob Miller. I'm the director of the Dodge City Cowboy Band. We are so excited that you're here tonight. This is the second year that the band's been invited to play for the Ford County Fair. So we're enjoying all the sounds of the animals and seeing a lot of familiar faces and some new ones. I hope you enjoy our set list for you this evening. As I said a minute ago, the hot dog line is ready and open, but we're going to go ahead and get started with the playing of our national anthem, followed by our state song, Home on the Range, and we'll follow it up with some more music for about an hour. Thank you. We figured that it would be appropriate tonight to start our set list with a piece that was actually about the fair. So we're going to begin with the Sousa March titled Fairest of the Fair. The Boston Food Fair was an annual exposition and music jubilee held by the Boston Retail Grocers Association. The Sousa Band was the main musical attraction for several seasons, so the creation of a new march honoring the sponsors of the 1908 Boston Food Fair was the natural outgrowth of a pleasant business relationship. In fairs before 1908, Sousa had been impressed by the beauty and charm of one particular young lady who was the center of attention of the displays in which she was employed. He made a mental note that he would someday transfer his impressions of her into music. When the invitation came for the Sousa Band to play a 20-day engagement in 1908, he wrote this march. Remembering the comely girl, he entitled his new march, The Fairest of the Fair. It is generally regarded as one of Sousa's finest and most melodic marches. Please enjoy The Fairest of the Fair. Thank you so much, everybody. If you haven't gotten food yet or gotten in line, it's right over there. If you've never been to one of our Cowboy Band concerts before, we encourage you to go this summer. One of our normal concerts, we usually play Tuesday evenings in Wright Park at 7:30. We do lots of marches, lots of movie, sometimes pop, beautiful chorales, things of that nature, and then obviously original music written for concert band. Maybe something you don't recognize, but it's nice to hear something new all the time. We have a concert this coming Tuesday night in the park, so it'd be nice to see you there as well. But tonight, if you've never heard us, gives you kind of a sneak peek of what those are like. Moving right along, that was the standard Sousa March. We are going to play now a piece that pays homage to the American Community Band. The title Country Bandstand suggests the sounds and history of the traditional town square with its open-air gazebo or bandstand, which is so common in small-town America. We'll perform two movements for you this evening, chorale, followed by march. Here is Country Bandstand in two movements. a little bit of backstory on our next march we'd like to play for you. In 1889, the recent purchasers of the Washington Post newspaper, Frank Hatton, a former Postmaster General, and Beriah Wilkins, a former Democratic congressman from Ohio, requested that John Philip Sousa, the leader of the United States Marine Band, compose a march for the newspaper's essay contest award ceremony, in conjunction with a campaign to promote the newspaper under new ownership. Sousa obliged. The Washington Post march was introduced at a ceremony on June 15, 1889, before a huge crowd on the grounds of the Smithsonian Museum. It quickly became quite popular in both the United States and Europe as the standard musical accompaniment to the two-step. This led to a British journalist dubbing Sousa the March King. Sousa is honored in the Washington Post building for his contribution to the newspaper and his country. I gotta get a podium this nice for down at the park. I'm not used to this. I feel like I just graduated with honors or something, so it's kind of nice. Even though I haven't. Okay, our next piece takes us on a trip to the Blue Ridge Mountains in the eastern part of the country, particularly in North Carolina. This piece is largely influenced by fiddle and bluegrass music, Irish reels, and a bit of early New Orleans march style. When Brian Balmages composed this piece, he just got back from a trip in North Carolina where he enjoyed taking in lots of live fiddle and bluegrass music in the small town where he visited. To add a little extra flair to this piece tonight, oh boy, we will be featuring a bit of fiddle music as well provided by Jane Lindemuth. We hope you enjoy Blue Ridge Fiddle.
let's go in the building and walk around.
All right, everybody, on the count of 3, shout out your favorite cartoon show. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. SpongeBob SquarePants. All right. Maybe you'll hear your favorite cartoon theme music in our following piece of music. We're going to feature the Flintstones, some Looney Tunes, the Jetsons, the Simpsons, the Pink Panther, Animaniacs, and some more Looney Tunes at the end. Raise your hand if you've never heard of one of those shows before in your life. Might be a couple of you. I heard a lamb go, ah. Been doing that all night. We hope you enjoyed Cartoon Symphony.
If you want some 4-H goodies from the 4-H and open class bake sale, this is your last chance. They're going to be wrapping up shop. They're just about to sell out. So if you want some good things, you can go now. I've been through, so it's all yours. So you can go do that now. And then the building will close at 9 o'clock. Be sure to visit our health fair this afternoon, this evening. We have a mini health fair. Some of the providers in the county have agreed to come in tonight and stop and visit with them inside. And don't forget to look at the schedule and come out tomorrow. Thank you.
This next march features one of the most prolific march composers of all time other than John Philip Sousa. Carl King's experience performing with circus bands and directing the Barnum and Bailey Circus Band led to his ability to write more than 290 wonderful compositions, with many of them being lively marches. This march features catchy melodies in both major and minor tonalities. Here is Peace Jubilee. Wild horses have been found along the barrier islands of Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia since the early explorers first visited North America. Some of these horses swam ashore as a result of shipwrecks, while others got freed from or were abandoned by early settlers. The wild mustangs have withstood storms in an ever-changing world around them, surrounded by modern man. Shackelford Banks is an uninhabited island in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and the wild horse remains there today, even though there was a plan at one point to move them elsewhere. But enough people from the mainland gathered enough support to allow the horses to stay there and be protected. We hope you enjoy Shackelford Banks, a tale of wild mustangs. With all the animals present tonight, we figured it was fitting to do a circus march of some sort, but we'll promise we're not going to take them out of the cages to do any tricks. I am not certified to lead that. Barnum and Bailey's favorite, often referred to as the granddaddy of circus marches, was composed by Carl King in 1913. King was asked by the bandmaster of the Barnum and Bailey Circus, Ned Brill, to write a march for the circus. This has become his most famous composition, being called the finest work written to celebrate the greatest show on earth, and is one of the most recognizable marches of all time. We hope you enjoy Barnum and Bailey's. How many of you here in the audience are fans of dragons? Any fantasy fans, dragons, wizardry? Very cool, awesome. I am too. Fire breathing, flying, toothless times, whatever. That leads us into our next piece. The 2010 DreamWorks film, How to Train Your Dragon, tells the story of a Norse teenager, Hiccup, growing up on the island of Berk, where fighting dragons is a way of life. Despite being the son of the chief of the clan, Hiccup is viewed by many as a bit of a misfit. He endeavors to prove himself as a true Viking in dragon fighting school, but later befriends an injured dragon he names Toothless, and has the opportunity to plot a new course for his people's future. Here's a fun band arrangement of How to Train Your Dragon. I want to say before our final piece tonight, thank you so much to the Fair Committee, Fair Board, whatever your titles are. Jeremy Woodjack invited us last year and invited us again this year, and his comrades do such a wonderful job putting this together. And I really appreciate them getting us here for this performance and letting you all hear some live music. So big round of hands for the Fair Committee. We know this can be an ongoing tradition. We're having a lot of fun. Here's our final piece this evening. 3 classic Western themes from the big screen are combined to make this exciting setting in the Wild Western. The Magnificent Seven, How the West Was Won, and Silverado come thundering across the plains into this piece by Michael Story. As I mentioned, we've had a wonderful time playing this evening with you all, and we would love to see you this coming Tuesday, July 23rd in Wright Park at 7:30 as we celebrate and honor lots of great Dodge City music. And now, here is the Wild Westerns. Thank you once again, everyone, for your time and attention and for being a wonderful audience. It's nice to see you all. Enjoy the rest of your evening and the rest of your summer.